Hello everyone and welcome back to another playthrough video of Savage Streets here on World War II Solitaire board game channel. If you haven't watched my first video on this game where I play the game without the optional rules, I advise you to watch at least the beginning of that video first, because I go through the setup rules, I go through the counters, the different stats on them and so on. So you don't have to watch the whole video, but you might want to watch at least the first part of the video. Anyway, I just want to say Savage Streets is based on Rattenkrieg Assaults on the Tractor Factory, which is a great little postcard game, which I loved, which made me interested in this game. And this is a build on that system. You will get this game with Special Ops Magazine issue number 1, which you can get from Multi-Man Publishing's website directly. I will post a link in the description. You might also find it in your local friendly board game store. Anyway, like I said, today we are going to be playing with the optional rules, and I gotta say the optional rules makes this already good game very much better. So before we get going, I have already set up the game according to all the rules, and before we get going I just want to share with you the new additions to the rules, then the optional rules. So the optional rules aren't really that heavy, there is just 6 of them, and one of those optional rules I haven't, or actually 2 of them, I've never seen come into action when playing solitaire. So you could even skip those if you want. Doesn't matter really, because like I said, they don't really come to life very often, and they just add one thing that you have to keep a lookout for. Anyway, let's talk about the rules. So the optional rules they consider special units. So the first one is for engineers, and we can see the engineers right here. So these are engineers or pioneers. The Germans are obviously going to be pioneers, and the Russians are going to be engineers then. And the way you see that they are engineers is it's like a little E here. Anyway, that's how I see it. It's an E, so they're engineers. And the way engineers work is that prior to combat, you can decide that you will use the pioneers in your case, because you're going to be playing German. The pioneer's ability, and the pioneer's ability say that you have to decide before you roll, and then when you have rolled, you can increase by 1 any one of those dice. So I could, for example, say the Russian rolled a 6 and I have a regimental HQ, so I want a tie, so I'll add this one to become a 6. Or, for example, perhaps the Russian rolled a 5 and I have a regimental HQ. I want to add this one to a 5, so that also becomes a hit. Because remember, ties and high rolls will become hits. So that is a very good way to make things a little bit more interesting. And the down part about this rule is that if you lose the combat, the pioneer squad has to take the first hit. So you don't get to choose which one of your units takes that mandatory hit per battle. The pioneer unit has to take it. There are no in the solitaire rules, there are no specification on how to play the engineer rules with the Russians. So with the Russians, I always play it. If there is a pioneer squad or an engineer squad in the Russians units, I always activate it, and it will always make the highest die roll higher. So if they roll a 4 and that's the highest, it's going to become a 5. If they roll a 6, that cannot become a 7. They will take the next highest ones. If they roll a 6, a 4, and a 1, the 4 will become a 5. Just to simplify it. That's always how I do it, even if it's not the best way for them currently. That's how I do it, because I want an automated system. I don't want to be making choices. I want to be making as few choices as possible for the opposite side, because I want to play solitaire right, not two-handed. So anyway, that is one of the 6 rules. That's the pioneer rules. Then we have German armor, and it introduces a few rules to the German armor, which I think is awesome. First of all, you have unopposed armor. So if the enemy do not have any tank, Molotov cocktail event kit, or anti-tank you are unopposed with your armor, and you can do the same thing as the engineers do. You can increase one of your d6 by 1, and you can even activate that together with your pioneers, becoming very powerful. And just for information here, to show you how anti-tank looks, that is an anti-tank. It looks like a triangle or an upside down V, and here we have a Soviet tank, of course, and here we have Molotov cocktails. So as long as they do not come into play as you're engaging the enemy with your armor, you can adjust 1d6 by 1. Extremely powerful. But there are downsides now, and that's what we're going to talk about now. So first of all, we have unsupported armor. So any armor troops, say that I send, for example, here, I send 2 Stugs to attack downtown district, but I don't send any supporting infantry. Then I have to decrease each armored unit's combat value by 1. So these guys, they go from 4 in combat value combined to 2. And that is if I don't send any supporting infantry. It can be any kind of infantry. It can be a regimental HQ, engineers. I do not have AT squads, by the way, or just normal infantry. And then the final rule considering the armor, which is really awesome, is when you flip the units. If the unit, and if you have a tank unit on a flak or a stug, if that revealed unit is an AT unit or a tank unit, you will have to roll just like with the Molotov cocktail. On a roll of 1 to 2, nothing happens. On a roll of 3 to 4, your armor is suppressed. On a roll to 5 to 6, it's actually damaged. So that's extremely powerful. Happens many times that you realize, no, a tank, and then you actually take a hit or get suppressed. So it adds that exciting effect which we get from the event shits. Very cool. And those are the rules, optional rules regarding armor. And then we come to the regimental integrity rules. So these rules, I don't think they're super interesting, except I think one of them are. So first of all, we have the regimental HQs, and we can see here, for example, you see at the top of them which regiment they're part of. So here we have the 518th Regiment, and this is the Regimental HQ. This is the 1st, and this is the 2nd Battalion. So with the Regimental HQ optional rules, if the Regimental HQ ever gets how do you say, isolated without its without at least one of its battalions, you have to decrease his combat value by 1. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because here we have the Regimental HQ on the front lines, and where are the battalions? Where are the battalions? So that's one. I actually like that one rule. But then there is one more rule, and that rule says if all 3 battalions from the same regiment are stacked in the same area with the Regimental HQ, then the total combat value for the stack is increased by 1. And this will very rarely happen, since, for example, the 518th only has 2 battalions. The 194 is the same, it only has 2 battalions each. So they are not eligible for that bonus. And then we have, for example, the 191st. And the 191st, here we have the 2nd Battalion. And over here in this stack, in turn 2, we have the Regimental HQ and the 3rd Battalion. So getting that bonus is really hard, and I guess also the Russians can get it. But I have to be honest, I cannot figure out a way there to see which battalion is part of what regiment. So I kind of just ignore it, and I think with the Russian as it is, or the Soviets I should say, as it is, I think it's highly unlikely that they will ever get 3 of the same regiment, 3 battalions of the same regiment in the same area. I think that is not impossible, but close to impossible. Anyway, that is the regimental HQ rules. Like I said, I do like that the isolated regimental headquarters battalion. That's a cool rule that it has to stay, because it adds a strategical effect to the game. But the other one is, I mean, it's just one combat point, so that's not very much. And then we have another rule which I also think is a little bit meh, and that is the Soviet infiltration rule. So you might remember with the Soviet movement phase, a Soviet unit can never leave an area containing Germans and move to another area containing Germans. It can't do that. But with the Soviet infiltration rule, there are 4 Soviet SMG companies, and those SMG companies are the 34th Guard, the 29th Guards Division, and the 42nd Guards Division, and the 284th RD. I don't know what RD stands for. And those 4 companies, submachine gun companies, they can do that. So they can leave an area with Germans and go to another area which also contains Germans. And also that doesn't impress me, that optional rules. Maybe it's more fun with the 2-player game, but in the 1-player game, the solitaire mode, it doesn't really happen very often. But you have, when you do the Soviet movement, you have to take, extra note that, okay, that's an SMG company and it says SMG on the counter. Okay, and those are the 2 rules which I'm not so impressed by the optional rules, but then we have the final optional rules, and it's awesome. And this rule is called Schwere Angriff. And Schwere Angriff means that once in every turn, you may add 1d6, and that's why we have the d6 over here with the Stuka. You may add 1d6 to make a heavy attack, a kind of a reckless attack. You add this d6 to your dice pool, and instead of taking 1 mandatory damage after the combat, you have to take 2 hits. So I think it's a fantastical rule, because in some situations it adds this, tactical aspect to the game, where you might think like, okay, I have to take 7 now. If I don't take 7, I am gonna lose. Okay, I'm gonna take those 2 hits and push my luck. So I think that's really cool optional rules. And those, my friends, those are the optional rules. I hope that I didn't make it sound too complicated. I am watching my camera here. I've been babbling on for about 13 minutes. But yeah, just to briefly discuss it again. So we have the Engineers Pioneers, which can add 1 to the d6 but have to take the hit if they lose combat. We have the German Armor, which can also increase a d6 by 1 if they are unopposed by any Molotov cocktail, tank, or AT. However, if they're unsupported by armor, all of their combat values are decreased by 1. They can also be hit like with a Molotov cocktail, but when you reveal a Soviet AT or a Soviet tank, then we have the regimental integrity rule, which means that the divisional headquarters, if they're ever isolated from their battalions, you have to decrease their combat value by 1. And if you have all 3 divisions together with the regimental HQ, you get +1 to your damage, or +1 to your combat value. And then finally, or not finally, we have the Soviet infiltration, which means that SMG companies can move from a German-occupied area to another German-occupied area. And then finally, we have Schwere Angriff, which means we can add 1d6, and instead of taking 1 damage at the end of the combat phase, we take 2 damages. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop babbling now, and I'm gonna start playing. Alright, so we are in turn 1, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the first step, which is placing German reinforcements. And again, I advise you, if you haven't watched my first video, go ahead and do that, because there are some rules which you might not understand otherwise. Alright. I have the 194th here, and they are one of those, like I said, they only have 2 battalion markers, so they're not... they cannot get that +1 combat value, but the 194 we should let him stay with his divisions. So let's see. I have a feeling here that I perhaps wanna move these guys up to this side and get to 7, since 7 is pretty fast. 7 is basically defenseless as it is. It's gonna have some new markers soon, of course, but. And these guys, we cannot leave them without any... what you call infantry. So we leave a pioneer squad with them. Yeah, I think I'm happy that way. Okay, so next step would be Soviet reinforcements, but they don't get any in turn 2. And then it would be Soviet movement phase, but you skip that in the first turn. So we now go to the German movement phase. All right, so let's see. I think the problem here is that if I move in all of them, I have to move all of them. I want to do a breakthrough, but if I do a breakthrough, you again have to move all of them into the same area. So that's a little bit problematic. I have this kind of plan of kind of going up and cutting everything off from 7 and 8 to strangle the reinforcements they can get. Okay, so the 194th 4th Regiment, I am going to go ahead and instead of placing them in B, I'm going to place them in C. All right. I'm wondering if I should perhaps give them also the flak. Yeah, I'm going to give them the flak as well, since these guys, they have the pioneers. All right, so movement phase. These guys have to roll 1 to 4 to be able to move. The Stug can move, the second Stug can also move, and the engineers can also move. And these guys only need to roll the 1 to 5. The Regimental HQ can move. The first infantry cannot move, the second infantry can move, and the flak cannot move either. So these guys stay behind. Let's reveal some counters. Oh, we have a tank. Okay, so the tank here is bad for me since I had armor with me. So we're going to have to roll a Russian die now to see 1 to 2, nothing happens. 3 to 4, one of the Stugs are suppressed. 5 to 6, one take a damage. 1 to 4, okay, so 1 is suppressed. He cannot take part of the battle. We're going to see here, they have a combat value of 1 plus 1, that's 2. My combat value is 4. So unfortunately that means I only get 2 dice. I wanted to have 1 more. So I am going to go ahead and use my Stuka. And my Stuka is going to give me 1 additional die. Whoops, since I want to do the breakthrough here. That's a shame. So he rolls 6, and that is the highest roll, and I don't have Regimental HQ here, so the Russians, they always win the ties. So one of my Stugs take a hit, and yeah, actually the Pioneer has to take the hit, because I will always activate that. I will always activate that thing where I can use +1 to one of my dice with the Pioneers. So the Pioneer has to take the hit. The Stuka is used up for this turn. We go to the next round of battle. Here it's looking a little bit better. They have a combat value of 2. I have a combat value of 5, so I get 3 dice. They only get 1. And yeah, that looks a lot better. I get 2 hits because 2 dice are... Sorry, I get 3 hits actually. 2 dice are equal to or higher than the Russians. So that will also let me to do a breakthrough, which I am going to do. And I'm going to move up into this area here. So we have a Molotov cocktail that is not going to help them since I don't have any armored unit. And then they have an infantry division. Their defense is high though, it's 3. My combat value is still 5, so I get 2 dice and they only get 1. Yeah, that's very good. So I managed to take him out, so I have effectively taken control. However, I cannot do any more breakthroughs as they're limited to once per turn per unit. This area is now no longer Soviet controlled, it is considered contested. And yeah, actually this guy should take 1 hit. And then we're gonna take a hit with this guy. Again, don't forget, I should have done the first hit over here. So my combat value here would actually have been 4, not 5. So I should have rolled 2d6 instead of 1. but it wouldn't have mattered because I believe I hit with I hit with both. But on reroll I win again, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, remember to take those hits after combat. And that is going to be the end of the turn. So we go now to turn 2, and we start by taking our reinforcements and we place them out. So we have the 508th 18th Regiment, which we're going to put here with his 2 battalions. He can only spawn in the black area. And then we have the 191st, and we're going to go ahead and put him here with one of his divisions. This is one of those that has battalions. This guy has 3 battalions, but one of them doesn't come until turn number 3. Okay, and then we have some engineers here and some tanks. We are going to place them out like this. Remember the stacking rules, people. And then we have the Soviet reinforcements. So the first ones are always going to go to a vacant Soviet area which borders to a German controlled area or German occupied area. So the first one is going to go here, and then the second one is going to go here. Remember, only reinforcements in the contested or Soviet controlled areas. Then the next reinforcements are going to go to 7 and 8, and you will go back and forth until they are filled. Currently 8 is already filled, so all of them go to 7. That is the end of the reinforcements, and now we put out event chits. So we roll 2d6 for that. They can go in controlled or contested areas. 2 of them go to 6, 5, and 1 of them go to 5. Okay, and now we have the movement phase. I also want to note for you guys who watched my first video, in that video I did move several times with some of them, and really I read the rules a couple of more times, and in the basic rules, when played 2-player, a Soviet unit can always only move 1 area. So to simplify the movement of the rules, I've taken that rule to the Solitaire, because the Solitaire doesn't specify whatever that is the case, but I think that is the case since it doesn't say that it's not. So when they move, I play now that they cannot move any further, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So we start with area 7 as described by the rules. Cannot move to 3. Second one, cannot move to 5. Third unit, cannot move to 9. And then we go to 8, first unit. 7, cannot move to 7, which is full. Second unit, cannot move to 6. Third unit cannot move to... he can actually move to 4th. So the way I do now, as this one moves, I put him on half of that circled area to show me that he has moved this turn and cannot move anymore. But I keep him on the left side to note that is a unit and not event chit. Okay, so now we go to 6, first unit, and we roll an 8, cannot go to 8. First event marker, 12. Cannot go to 12. Second event marker 3 cannot. He can go to 3. So again, I put him on half of the circle. And last one, 2. Yep, he can go to 2. And next area we have is 5. First unit. 5. He's already in 5. First event chit. 9. German controlled, so he cannot go to 9, I believe. Or actually, I think he actually can. Okay, he can go to 9. And then, last one, 8. Nope, cannot go to 8. And then we have 9 and 10. So we start with, 9 has already moved, but 10, which rolls 10, cannot go to, because he's already in. 4 and 3, so 4 has already moved. We go to 3. The unit in 3, and we roll 12, and let's see where 12 is. He cannot go to 12. And then we have 11, 2, and 12, so 11 is over here. Whoops. And what did I roll? 5, cannot move to 5. 2 is over here. He's already moved, and 12 is under my control. So we're not going to roll for that. Let's see if I can. There we go. And that is the end of the movement phase, and that now starts my movement phase. So let's see where I want to move. I want to go ahead and move. Yeah, let's see where I want to move. I want to move these 3 units up here. So they need to roll 1 to 4. We start with the Stug. He can't move. The second Stug can move, and the engineers can move. And then we roll for this group, which is going to try and move up here, all of them. Let's see. No, the Stug. I don't want to move the Stug there. Okay, we wait with this group instead. And instead we move this group. Okay, so they are going to go ahead and try to move. I'll move them up here. Or I'll move these guys first. So they need a roll to 1 to 5. And the infantry division, and they're both able to move. They move up to the specialist house. And then these guys are trying to move up to red square. They need to roll 1 to 5. The visual HQ cannot move. The 1st battalion can, 2nd battalion can, and the flak can. Okay, so they move up to red square. Let's see now what we can do here. I'm gonna try to move up with the flak all the way to the red square, and these 2 guys. These 2 guys are moving up here to the rail crossing. So they need to roll 1 to 5. We start from left to right. The pioneer can move. The division can move. And the flak can move. So all of them can move. The flak moves up. These divisions move to the rail crossing. Or, sorry, battalions, I should say. Okay, so we only have this area left now, so we'll roll for them. They need to roll 1 to 5. We start left to right. Regimental HQ can move. Both of the battalions can move. The engineers can move, and the Stug can move. Okay, so these guys, we're gonna go ahead and move up here. And the Stug, we're gonna go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 over here. And that's it. So that is the end of the German movement phase. We start now with revealing some stuff here. So we have a sniper. He's gonna go ahead and try to shoot at Hense. Over here, oh no, not. We have a tank and a dummy. So the dummy is good. And over here we have another sniper, but there is no regimental HQ present. And here we have a guards division or a guards battalion. Perhaps, probably a company, I would say. Alright, so this one is discarded, since there is no regimental HQ here to snipe. This sniper we have to roll for. The dummy is discarded as well. And the sniper on a roll of 1 to 2, nothing happens. 3 to 4, he's suppressed. 5 to 6, he's damaged. And he's suppressed. Okay, so that is the end of that. Now we're gonna have to do combat, and we're gonna go ahead and start up here. And let's see. Yeah, maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start up here actually. Okay, so they have a combat value 3. I also have a combat value 3. So they are gonna get 2 dice, and I am also gonna get 2 dice. Ooh, I actually win, so we take the tank out, and actually didn't we reveal the tank now? I believe we did. So before we roll that, we're actually going to have to roll to see what happened with that tank. I won otherwise. So we roll what happened to the tank. 1 to 2, nothing happens. Okay, so we're good. We eliminate that T3 Sagittaria, and we also do, let's see. We do 1 damage then to the tank, the mandatory 1, of course. and we move on to the State Bank. And the State Bank has an NKVD force and 2 stars. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we want to do here. Okay, so we'll do this battle next, and this time I am going to go ahead and use the Stuka. They have 2 stars, I have 2 stars, so we are both going to get 2d6. But I am going to go ahead and use 1 more d6 because of the Stuka. And we are activating the Pioneers, which lets us modify one of our rolls. Okay, things are good. We took out this guy, so we have captured the area. However, we have used up our Stuka. Also, we could Unopposed Armor, so we could have modified 1 more d6. I have to take that 1 mandatory hit. We're going to take that with the Stug. The Stug becomes our first casualty of the war. Next combat is going to be over here. They have a combat value of 5. I have a combat value of 3. So they are going to get 2 dice now, and I'm just going to get 1. Oof, and I roll a 6, so that means they win. I'm going to go ahead and take out the Divisional HQ because without his battalions, his combat value is going to be 0. So he becomes our second casualty here in Stalingrad. Let's see, we have this battle remaining, and the Divisional HQ is suppressed by that sniper previously. We don't have Unopposed Armor since these guys also has armor, but we have a Pioneer, so we're going to use his ability, of course. Our combat value is 5, 8, 10. It's more than double, so we get 3d6. And let's see, they get 1. So okay, good things. I roll a 6, and he rolled a 4. So we have taken out that tank effectively, and we're gonna go ahead and advance with the breakthrough that we gain, since we did get more hits. And then there were defending units, and we take control of this area. And we are going to take the hit to one of the infantry divisions. There we go. And that should be the end of this turn. Let me see that I've done everything. This is no more longer Soviet control. It's considered contested. So we need to take control of this area, or we're going to have some problem with the reinforcements. Okay. So that is the end of the turn, and now comes turn number 3, which is always horrible, because if you don't... I didn't really manage to encircle these areas. This area is still contested, which means they're going to be able to bring some reinforcements in. So the reinforcements, as you know, they will first go to any vacant, but there are no vacant Soviet-controlled areas. Next, they will fill up 7 and 8. Next, they will go to where you can trace a line back to 7 and 8 from contested areas or areas which are Soviet-controlled. Each of those areas are going to get 1 to reinforcements. So that's a lot of reinforcements they're getting now. And the rest of the stack is going to move up to turn 4. And then they're going to have some event shits. Let me shuffle these up. So we are grabbing 3 of them and rolling to see where they go. 8 goes the first. 5 goes the second. And 8 goes the third. So now we come to the Soviet movement phase. We start here, and you know the deal now. I'm just going to roll, I'm not even going to speak. Come on, get out of there. Cannot move. So that's it. I think maybe it goes faster when I'm doing that Soviet movement phase if I'm not speaking to y'all. Okay, so that's the end of the movement phase. We moved all of these, quite a lot actually, movement we saw here. Okay, and that gives me my movement phase. So my mission is gonna be to take this area, ignore that one. He cannot capture, that's an event shit. I'm thinking about taking this area too and perhaps engaging with the main landings. Haven't really decided yet how I should do things here. Okay, so these guys are gonna stay right where they are. I think they have a good thing going there. And then over here, we're gonna split up. This guy is going here. He needs to roll a 1, 2, 4. And then these, let's see, Schmidt is gonna try to move up here. And he manages to do that. And then let's see, these guys are gonna try to move up to the supply depot. He can't move. He can move, and the Stug can move. So they are moving up to the supply depot. And then let's see here. We'll send one of the divisions to the supply depot, one to the specialist house, one flak to the specialist house, one flak to the supply depot. He can move. He can move. The flaks can never move, man. Okay, one flak can move, so we'll send one over here, one flak up here, and this guy up here, okay? And the flak stays with, or actually maybe I should stay with this guy, so Schmidt doesn't lose one of his firepowers. Okay, that's how I'm gonna do it, and these guys, I think they are, okay, they are actually gonna move into 4. So we go left to the right, can move, cannot move, can move, can move, can move. Okay, so these guys move into 4. And this battalion stays. Okay, so we're ready. Let's go ahead and reveal our markers. Okay, I thought that was an event marker, but it wasn't. Here we have an engineer. We have a dummy, so we just go ahead and discard that. Over here we have a guards company. Oof. Okay. So the tank is going to do damage to my flak there. Let's start by rolling for the tank. Ah! It rolls a 3, so it doesn't damage it. It just suppresses it, so it cannot take part of this combat. So let's see what combat scenarios we have. Let's start over here then. Also that's AT gun, so we have to do the same with that flak. And it actually damages it. So it does 1 damage to my flak. Alright, let's do combat. We have a combat value of 5, they have a combat value of 4. So we get 2 dice, they only get 1. We have no engineer. And we take out that guy. And remember that you can do breakthroughs, and I did more than 1 damage. That's more damage than there are defenders. However, you cannot do a breakthrough to an area containing German units. So they can't really go anywhere. They can go to 5 and 3, and I don't want to go there. Because I'm kind of trying to encircle the enemies over there. Not that there are so many of them, to be honest. Alright, let's see where we are next. Let's do this battle. They have 2 in battle. I have way more, so they are going to be 3 dice versus 1. And we have an engineer and unopposed armor, so we can change 2 of our d6 by 1, or 1 of our d6 by 2 points. Let me just calculate that briefly. Yep, that should be correct. Yeah, okay, he's done. And let's take the, let's make the damage here. I forgot to do that one. And over here we're gonna get rid of the, we can't, because then he will become weaker, so we will decrease him instead. Or actually we'll decrease the Stug, because we got Stugs coming in the next turn. So that's really cool. I love the optional rules. They add so much. You have to keep your engineers alive, you have to keep your armor alive, and then you have to keep your divisional HQ together with their battalions, and keep the battalions alive, or you're going to have some negative effects there. Okay, so then we have this area. They have a combat value of 3, my combat value is 6. So 2 versus 1. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, they are an engineer as well, so they can change this into a 6. I also have an engineer. I can change my, but I rolled 2. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that. Okay, so I'm gonna re-roll it. But again, they have an engineer, so they can change their die by 1. I also have, I can change it by 1, but they win ties, so odds are now that they're gonna win. Again, my battle, yeah, I only get 2 dice. Yeah, so doesn't matter if I change this into a 6, because I would need 2 6s to win. So since it's a tie, and I have to take the damage to my engineer, unfortunately. So it keeps being contested. That's bad news for me. Let's go to this area then. They have a combat value of 4, 5. My combat value is the same. So we have 2 dice versus 2 dice. I will go ahead and use my Stuka. So I should have 3 dice. Oh, okay. Whew, I win. I win, and I have 2 dice that are greater or equal than their highest. So I do 2 hits, and I've completed my mission over here in the supply depot, because I have captured it. It's now German controlled. Unfortunately, I do have to take 1 hit. I am going to take that hit to my flak. And that's the end of that, my friends. So, well, maybe that can be a good thing, because now reinforcements can keep slipping through to the downtown district and Station Stalingrad. They're still not, they can still take a couple of reinforcements, so that can be a good thing, because then I can keep that area controlled. We're going to have a problem in turn 5, because in turn 5 they're going to get those red reinforcements, which can spawn in over here in area 6. So I'm going to have to get some support over to that area. Alright, so that is the end of the turn. We go to the next turn, turn number 4. And we place our armor, and both of our armor I think we're going to place over here. Makes the most sense to me. We already have a Stug and 2 flags over here. Yeah, we're gonna go that way. And then we have the Soviet reinforcements, right? Okay, so there's no vacant, empty Soviet control area. 7 and 8 is full. So next reinforcements will go to areas contested or Soviet controlled, which can trace a chain all the way back to 7 or 8. And these 2 remaining reinforcements go over here. Let's see, let's put them over here. Okay. And then we have the Soviet movement. Sorry, before we have the movement, we actually have to put out these very annoying event shits. And I say they're annoying because they are, but don't misunderstand me, because I love them. They are horrible in a good way. In a very good way. And the first one goes to 10. 6, I believe I control, so it cannot go there. 7. And last one also goes to 7. Okay, then we have the Soviet movement, and I'm just gonna shut up and roll. Get it over with. Six, 5. And after 5 comes 9 and 10. Let's see, 9, that's my area. 10. 8, so he goes up there. 4. Okay, so both of these have moved. Let's stack them together. After 10 comes 4, and they have moved. We have 3. So really seeing a lot of movement. A lot of movement in this turn. 11. 4 and 3, and next are 11, 2 and 12. 11 is mine, 2 is mine, and 12 is mine. So that's it. Okay. Wow, that was a lot of movement, I gotta say. So that can be one of the negative things if you encircle them, because they can move out to take you on. Okay, so their movement phase is finished, so that starts my movement phase. Let's see here, we have some problems. This guy is trapped over here. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, he's gonna try to move back, so we'll roll. We'll start by rolling for these lads. Let's see how we want to play this. 191st. Okay, so these guys are gonna try to move up here. So we roll for each from left to right. The divisional HQ cannot move, but these two guys can, so they move up. And we'll keep them separated because these guys can move. And we try to move the pioneers up so they can move up. They join Schmidt. And then let's see here. Well, these guys can stay where they are. The Stugs we will try to move up to Lenin Square. And then the second one, okay, very good. And then we'll try to move the 518th in here. Good. These guys stay where they are. I will try to move in the 1st Battalion of the 191st Regiment. I don't think he was damaged. 191st. Yes. And then I'm gonna leave it like that, I think. Can I take... I can take the flak as well. Okay, I'm gonna try. Oh, he didn't... I think he moved already. He did move already. Okay, so I'm gonna stay there. See. Yep, everything looks alright. It's gonna be hard taking on these, but we'll try. Okay, so let's start revealing. We have an artillery die. We have guards company. Guards company, that's good, no AT. And over here we have engineers and another artillery headquarters. So that's good, unopposed armor in all fights. So where should we start? Actually, this is a this is a special one. We have to fight this one since it's an artillery. It's gonna get 1 dice. And we are gonna get, let's see, they have 2 combat values, so we're gonna get 2 dice. We are unopposed armor as well, so we can use we can modify one of our d6. So they are actually gonna get 2, since they will get, I'm guessing, this is also a little bit unclear in the rules, but I'm guessing they're gonna get 2 since they should get 1 from the area, I'm guessing. And let's see, I have, okay, so I should actually get 3 dice because I have more than double that value, and then they get 1 from the artillery. That's how I'm guessing it's played. And I win. So a special rule concerning artillery, fanatic, strong points, and guards is that if you win, you don't have to take the damage, since it's only an event shit. It's not German controlled. Finally, it's not what's it called? It is not unit. And let's see here then. We are gonna go ahead and try this area now, and they have a combat value of 6. We have a combat value of, let's see, 4, 5, 8. So we get 2 dice. They get 1. We are gonna add 1 with the Stuka, and we can modify with our engineer and our unopposed armor also. Okay, so that's cool. We take both of these guys. We also get, actually, we get 1 more to our combat value, since it's German controlled. Always, if it's German controlled, you get +1, and that is a good also thing with having this defensive tactic. So the Stuka has been used for this turn. Then we have this area, right? So I am gonna go ahead and try to take out these guys now. I should have saved the Stuka, but I am gonna use the Schwere Angriff finally, and add 1d6, but that's gonna force me to take 2 hits. They have the engineer, so they can manipulate 1 of their dice. They have a combat value of 5. My combat value is 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. That's unfortunate, otherwise I would have gotten 1 additional d6. But I get 3 of them at least. Let's see, I'm gonna count it again. 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, unfortunately. And he is with his division, so he doesn't get that -1. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh, that's very good. I roll 2 of my dice are equal to or higher. So that means I have done 2 hits. They are taken out and it remains German controlled. However, they rolled 6, and when you win a tie and the Soviets win a 6 with your divisional HQ, you have to take 1 hit to your divisional HQ. You have no choice. And the second hit, because we played the Schwere Angriff, will be taken by 1 of my Stugs. So you can see here, again, I think that these optional rules adds a lot to the game. And then we're down here, and I don't believe we have fought this battle yet, so we're going to go ahead and fight that. They have a combat value of 5. My combat value is also 5, since it's German controlled. So 2, 4, 5. So we will roll 2 dice versus 2, but we have a pioneer. We can adjust our one of our d6. And that's very good. We roll 3, which is higher, so the guards is taken out. However, we have to take 1 hit, and we're gonna go ahead and take that to, let's see, 191st are doing pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the pioneer there. And that is the end of turn 4. We go now to turn number 5. So we have some reinforcements to put out. First we have the normal black circled ones. They can go in 7 and 8, but they cannot go to any other area because there are no other area where you can trace a line back to these Soviet controlled areas, which we have 2 Soviet controlled areas. So it goes to the next turn, and we'll just put it in the pile over here. And I'm guessing these are the red ones. Yes, they are. So these red ones, they have the special rules, as you might remember from watching my first video. They can actually land in 6 if 6 is German controlled or contested. But if it's contested, they will land normally. But if it's German controlled, we have to roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 2, they land. Roll to 3 to 4, they are suppressed and go into the next round. And a 5 to 6, they're killed. Yes, first one is taken out. Second one is also taken out. Wow, that's 2 kills. I'm just capturing that area. One is placed out. One is suppressed. And then can I get another kill? Come on. Ah, he's suppressed. I'm happy with that. 2 killed, 2 suppressed, and 1 actually placed. So that works out for me. And then we have these event chits, which, whoops. Oh man, they cannot turn very easily when you shuffle them, so you have to shuffle them very carefully. Okay, we grab 3 of them randomly and roll to see where they can be placed out. 10, which is not possible because it's controlled by me, but 9, let's see, 9 is also controlled by me. 11 is also controlled by me. 5 is not, so it goes to 5. Another 1 to 5, but 5 is full now. 7. And the last one. 10 is also controlled by me, I believe. Where is 10? There it is. 5, and 5 is full. 9 is also controlled by me. 11 is controlled by me as well. 10 is controlled by me as well. 12 is controlled by me as well. 5 is full. 7. Yeah, it has to be, the only place it can go now is actually 8 or 3. And there we go, 8. And now we have the movement phase. So let's do it. 10. Okay, and 6. And 5. And after 5 comes 9 and 10. Let's see, where's 9? I also get 9. He's moved. 10 is mine. 4 and 3. Nope. Nope. And 11, 2 and 12. 11, 2 and 12. Okay, so that's it. That is it for the Soviet movement phase. Yeah, you know what I feel about it. It's a little bit tedious, but the game is great. I love this game. The whole weekend, the only thing I've been doing is playing this game over and over again. So it is a great game, but I did like the movement part better in the first, where I don't believe the Soviet forces actually moved. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I have a feeling that perhaps we have to try to attack these upper positions now to start taking control over them. I think I'm gonna have to start doing that. We're gonna stay with these guys at 6 in a way. We don't get any reinforcements now for quite some time. So let's see. I'm gonna roll for these guys first. They're gonna move to the main ferry landings. They need to roll 1 to let's see, they need to roll 1 to 4. And I roll left to right as usual. And then these guys, they need to roll 1 to 5. And they both make it. And they meet up with the other guys up here. And I am gonna go ahead and try to get one of these guys up there. Where's the 194 Regimental HQ? I guess he's gone. He's dead. He's laying here in my dead pile. Okay, so the question is what I should do now then. Oh, the flag is still here. He's gonna have a problem with that unit. Okay. So we'll roll for these guys, and one of them is gonna move. We'll see who. The flag can't move. The infantry division can't move. And this guy can't move either. They're stuck where they are. Okay, so we're rolling for these guys. They're moving to Regimental. I cannot pronounce it. He can move. The Pioneers cannot move. The Stug can move. And the 191st cannot move. Okay, not sure if I want to do that. That could be disastrous. So they're staying where they are. And then these guys, yeah, they're staying where they are as well. So this is the way that we're gonna have it for this turn. So let's reveal our enemies. A guards company over here. Oof, a tank, that's not good. That's gonna bang up my Stug. Let's roll for that so we don't forget. Tank attacks the Stug and the Stug is taken out. And then over here, oh, maybe we can win that fight, even though we have a 0 in combat value. We're as good as him. And that should be the only areas, okay? So let's, oh, we also have this area. Let's see the event sheets. Molotov cocktail. 2 Molotov cocktails. Both of those cocktails are going against my Stug. Let's roll to see what happens. Okay, that one means nothing happens, and the 4 means the Stug is suppressed, so he cannot be used in combat this turn. Right. And then the enemy is an engineer. I don't like that. I think I'm gonna try to take control of the main ferry landings. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Stuka and the Schwere Angriff. Alright, so their combat value is very low. It is... Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should keep Lenin Square. Maybe I should... tough choices, because these guys are gonna take those red, really good counters. I need to capture both of these areas very badly. Let's just say that. They have a 2 in combat value. My combat value is double, so that's gonna give me 3 versus 1. So I mean, I should win that, but they have an engineer. This area is worse because their combat value is 6. Mine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 2 versus 1 here. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Stuka up here, and then I can use a Schwere Angriffen down here. I think that should be good. Okay, I used the Stuka up there. So I will get 4 dice versus their 1. Yeah. Oh, man, look at that. So they roll a 6. The Stuka has been used, but I win the tie because I have a divisional HQ. However, as you know, if the enemy rolls a 6, the divisional HQ has to take the hit. So the divisional HQ is damaged. And then let's go to this battle. They have a combat value of 6. Again, mine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 2 dice. They get 1. But I will use the Schwere Angriff dice or die. And we have Unopposed Armor, so we can actually change one of our D6. Come on. Okay, we don't need to use it, but we'll use it just because it kicks ass. So I think the Schwere Angriffen was the right choice. By the way, this is German control now. Because they almost beat us. So, however, we have to pay the price now. We have to do 2 hits. And I am going to go ahead and eliminate this one. So he's reduced and then he's eliminated. But our casualties really aren't that bad. We have lost a total of 3 Stugs, 1 Pioneer Battalion and 1 Divisional HQ. However, my guys are in bad shape. We are going to need some kind of reinforcements, which we will get next turn if we hope to take Rodimtsev's HQ. And there's a dog hair here. It's not barbed wire. Alright, I think that was actually a very good turn, but we still have 2 battles, so maybe I shouldn't celebrate yet. Combat value for the Russians is 2, or the Soviets I should say, and mine is 0, so they will have 2 dice. Okay, that is kind of cheating, so I'm gonna pick it up and re-roll it just to be... Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I shouldn't have re-rolled it. They killed my flak. And they have captured the area with their NKVD 0 combat value troops. Over here, we have an engineer, which we're going to use. They have a combat value of 4. My combat value is 7. So we get 2 dice versus 1. Okay, perfect. We also have the engineer, of course, so we can change one of our, even though we don't, but we're gonna because it kicks ass. We have taken 2 hits on them. Perfect. And we have to take 1 hit to ourselves. That is going to be to this battalion, the 2nd Battalion of the 518th Regiment of the 6th German Army. Okay, that is the end of the turn, my friends. We go now to the next turn. And I see here I have kind of messed up because these should, turn 5, turn 5. Yeah, 3 of these are from turn 5, turn 3, turn 7. Okay, so these should actually be placed out. I put them on top of them. Let's see. 2 is red, 1 is black. So I'm like, one will put here. And the red ones will shuffle and put here. Okay, so we start with our reinforcements and we reset the Stuka. Okay, so our reinforcements, let's see. Oh, and they're all green. This is a problem because the green way is kind of blocked. Okay, so the 211th Regiment, which has all of their 3 battalions available. I'm going to use them because if I keep them together, they're going to get a plus 1 in damage. And then we have the 191st, and he's all the way up there. I guess I'm going to put them on this side and see if I can kind of sneak through. We have the reconnaissance company here also. We'll see. But I would much rather have them on this side. Okay, so that is it. Then we have Soviet reinforcements. So this guy, this is actually a black 1 counter, so it cannot go because we have, this one cannot give anything. The Soviet controlled one can, but it's encircled, so it goes to the next turn. However, as you know, the red ones can spawn on 6, but we will roll to see if they actually arrive. First one is killed, thank God. Second one is also killed. Man, okay, maybe I can win this. Okay, he's down. So let's see if we can push. Before we do that, we have to put out 3 of these event chits. So we'll grab 3 of them. And the only areas now these can come to are 3 and 9. So this might take a while, because rolling 3 and 9 is not a very common occurrence. There we have 8, because 5 and 7 is... There we have 9, the first one. 5 and also this should be Soviet controlled, since we have a Soviet unit alone there. 7. No, we need 9. 6. 9 or 3. Or 11 actually. They have captured that as well. 8. 8. No, we want 3, 9 or 11. There is 11. 3, 9 or 11. Come on. There should be a rule that if you roll 3 times or something like that, you're not gonna get the reinforcements. Some kind of rule like that would have been cool. Addition 11. There we go. We're done. Now we have the Soviet movement. So let's just get to it. 8, 7. And next one should be 5. And after 5 comes 9 and 10. And after 9 and 10, let's see, 10 comes 4 and 3. I wonder if, didn't these move already? One of them moved this turn, so one of them should go here then. The other one stays, since he actually moved. For 11, 2 and 12 is the finish. 11, 2 and 12, so only 11 left. And this one should be hidden, since he's alone. Let's see, 10. 11. 10. Okay, that is the end of their movement. The end of the Russian movement. Horrible. They are blocking me over here. That is not good at all. And they're sending up units up here. Not good at all. Not good at all. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Excuse me. These guys are gonna try to move up here. So they need to roll a 1 or a... Let's see, 1 or a 5. Sorry, 1 or a 4. 1, 2, 4. This one does not make it. These guys are also trying to move up there. He makes it. He makes it. And he makes it. Both of them make it, so they move through this area up here. That means this area is now controlled by the Russians. They've taken control of it. Or the Soviets, I should say. Let's see, these guys are staying and defending that area. These guys are also going to try to move up there. I need to roll 1 to 5. The Stug cannot make it. The 518th can make it. Oh, dropped on the damn floor. Excuse my language. And these guys are moving up. That means I have overstacked here, so I'm going to have to take 1 casualty. Gonna get that die on the floor. But you have to make tough decisions like that. So I am gonna let 194th Regiment 2nd, 1st and 2nd Division die. Okay. Let's see what more we can do. He has moved. These guys are gonna try to move up. They need to roll 1 to 4. Oh, man, I don't know why he can't move. Why these dice are jumping out. And then we have these guys. All of them are moving together. Only on a roll of 6. Wouldn't they be able to move? Okay. So they can all move. So these guys move in here. But that fills up that place. So I am wondering if I should perhaps move this guy in here and just deal with... Maybe that's stupid. Yeah, I'll wait with him over here. Okay, we roll for these guys. They're gonna take that direction, and we need to roll 1, 2, 4. First one cannot move. Pioneers are always stuck behind. The recon company should be able to move. The recon, come on. So they move 1, 2. Okay, so here is the situation. We have a total of 3 battlefields, and let's start here where we only have 2. We have an ambush and a dummy. So the dummy is removed. The ambush is, we can do that on the Stug. On a roll of 1, 2, nothing happens. On a roll of 5 to 6, does 1 damage. So the ambush destroys the Stug, but it remains German controlled. Over here we have a guards division. We have a sniper, that's bad news. 2 snipers, that is really bad news. We have the NKVD and a guards company. Okay. Let's start with the sniper. The sniper is obviously targeting Regimental HQ, and actually very lucky roll. With this one nothing happened, with this one he's simply suppressed. We can deal with that. So the snipers are removed. Okay, so let's start with this battle right here. Then we have a combat value of 2. My combat value is far exceeding that, so I am gonna have 3 dice plus, and they are gonna have 1. I have an engineer and unopposed armor, so I can change 1d6 by 2 or 2d6 by 1. And I also have the Regimental HQ, so I can win a tie. Yes, sirree. They get a 5. That is not enough to win. It remains German controlled. I will take the hit with my... Let's see. I'll take it with the 3rd here. Okay, and then we have this area, and you guessed it. We are going to use this Stuka, and we are going to use the Schwere Angriff. They have a combat value of 3. 1 plus 2, that's 3. My combat value is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 3 dice, plus 1 because of the Schwere Angriff, plus 1 because of the Stuka. But remember that these guys now win a tie, since my Hense here is suppressed. So they can win if they roll a tie. However, I do have an engineer and the flak. So unopposed armor and pioneers. So I can adjust 2d6. So unless they roll a 6 here. Okay, they did not roll a 6, and we can even adjust these to 5s to become 6, which we don't need, of course, but again, we do it because it's so awesome. And we have taken out these guys, and we have now taken control of the HQ. That is awesome. I think this time we're gonna win. Okay, we have spent the Schwere Angriff and the Stuka. Now to the sad part, we have to take 2 hits. 1 hit is going to this guy, and 1 hit is going to the pioneers. Okay, and he's unsuppressed. And the 2 hits, of course, is because I used the Schwere Angriff. Okay, we go to turn 7. I don't see any more combat here, right? Nope. So we reset the Stuka. So first of all, for the ordinary, these are the black numbered HQ reinforcements. They cannot be placed, because they can only go to 8 or 7 if they are contested, which they are not. They are German controlled, so they are pushed. They can still come in if they capture it or contest it. But the red ones can. So the red ones can go to 6 on a roll of 1 to 2. And the first one is suppressed to the next round. The second one is killed. On a 5 to 6 they're killed. And, look at that, that's beautiful. Last one is killed. And then, unfortunately, though, we have to place some of these event markers. We haven't gotten a single fanatical strong point or a guards division. I'm very happy about that. But we have 3 to place out now, so it's not too late. They can go on 10, 3, 5, 9, and 11. Not on 4 though, because I control that. Not on 8 either. Not on 8 second time. Let's see, 7, nope. 6, where is 6 now again? Nope. Man, come on. 6. Come on. Oh my god. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain, but come on, what is this? 9. Okay, there we go. 10. Yep. What happened? Okay, 4. Nope. Only contested or Soviet controlled. 7. Nope. Oh, come on. I hate when they get stuck in there. It's so annoying. 6. No. Oh, come on. I'm getting so tired of this. Okay, so this would be my second complaint of the complaints. I don't like the Soviet movement very much. At this end game, when the Soviets don't have a lot of areas, there should be a rule saying, okay, if you rolled to place out event chits, whatever, 3 times, 5 times, and there's no valid placement, they lose the event chits remaining. Okay, so we have to do Soviet movement, and we start with area 5. And after 5 comes, let's see, 9 and 10. Come on. And then comes 4 and 3. And then comes 11, 2, and 12. 11. 12 is mine, and 2 has already moved. Okay, so not so much movement this time. Only 1 unit and 2 events. My movement, we will do, let's see. Let's see here. We have the 211th here. We want to keep them together, actually. I'm going to go ahead and try to send this guy up here and this Stug up here. So needs to roll a 1, 2, 4. Yep. And then the Stug. Yes, sir. Very good. And then I want to stick these guys together. Let's roll to see what happens. They need 1 to 4. Perfect. Next guy. Perfect. Yes. So these guys move together, and take note now with the regimental integrity optional rule. The 211th regiment has both its regimental HQ, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd battalion together, so they get a +1 to combat value. And then it's a German controlled areas, it's another +1. So they're quite strong together. That's 9, 11, 12, 13 points. That's pretty good. These guys, let's see. Okay, maybe I want to move them into the downtown district. Okay, so they are moving up here, and then the Stug is going to move up here. 4, and we have the Pioneers. They're going to follow the Stug. Yes, that's wonderful. I didn't roll a single 6 or a 5 with the ones without regimental HQs. So all of my guys got to move. I think things are looking very good, which they usually don't by now. So I don't even have any battles. I only have events. So we have an ambush, that's not good. And a fanatic strong point. And a guard's counterattack. I don't like that one. Okay, so we will start with fighting the Fanatic Strongpoint. We have a combat value 4, their combat value is 2, so we get 2 dice, they get 1. Oof, that's pretty bad. Okay, we lose, and we will take that hit to this one. We could actually, because it's a Pioneer and a Stug, so we could increase 1 by 2 to 3 Unopposed Armor Pioneer, but it's still not enough to win. We have to take the hits to the Pioneer, remember the optional rule. And then we have the Ambush, and let's see what it does. On a roll of 1 to 2, it does nothing. Thank you. And then we have Displace, and the Guard's counterattack is horrible. It can do a lot of damage. They have a combat value 3. My combat value, as you remember, is 2. Let's see, it's 9. It's 11 with the combat value. Plus 1 because I got the whole regiment together. Plus 1 because of it's German controlled. So that should be a total of, let's see, 11, 12, 13 points, I believe. So we get 3 dice, and they only get 1. And we are also going to go ahead and send in the Stukas here. So we get plus 1 more. Unfortunately, though, we do not have... Well, they should get 2 then, I guess, because they have the plus 1 die. And yes, we roll 5, so that Guards is beaten down. However, with the Guards, you still have to take 1 damage, unfortunately. So we will use that damage on the 3rd battalion of the 211th Regiment. And that is the end of the turn. I believe we have no more combat, right? The Fanatic Strongpoint remains. We go into turn 8, and I gotta say again, things are looking very good. We have again the black ones. There's 4 of them. Like they cannot do anything because they are 8 and 7 is under control. And then we have a red one, so it can go to 6. We will roll to see what happens. 3, it's suppressed until the next round. So I think we're pretty good here, guys. However, they will still get their free event chits, so we'll go ahead and mix these up. Also, this should be German control now. So now they can go to 5, 9, 11, 10. 5, 9, 11, 10. 11. Or they can actually, no, they can, yeah, they can go to 2 as well, since that is considered, what's it called, contested area, since we have the Fanatic Strongpoint there. 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 3, 6, 5. Yeah, can go to 5. Whoops, I didn't see that. Then we have, I'm not going to attack it anyway. Then we're going to have the Soviet movement phase. We start with 5. And then we move on to, let's see, 9 and 10. Where is 9? And then we have 10. And then we have 4 and 3. Let's see, 4 and 3. This one can't move, as you remember. 11, 2, and 12. It's going to be 11. It's going to be the last one. Okay, so 1 actually moves here to 8. So if that is Fanatic Strongpoint, we're going to have a problem, because then it's going to be contested, as you know. But we'll see. Maybe that doesn't happen. Okay, it's time for me to move, so I am going to go ahead and move a little bit. Let's see what I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna move these guys down here. I want to take care, or actually, maybe that's stupid. Okay, they'll move up there instead. So they need to roll 1, 2, 4. So this guy makes it. The recon is stuck behind. And then what about these guys? I think I should move them up. So the Stuga moving up here at least. Yes, and the Pioneers are moving up there somewhere. The Pioneers are stuck. But the Stug makes it. Okay, and then otherwise I'm going to say let it stay the same. Okay, we have to see what this is. It's a sniper. It will target Schmidt, regional headquarters, but they roll a 2. Unless you saw it, it was 2, I promise you guys. And that is a miss. And then we have the Fanatic strong point here. Let's use our Stukas to try to wipe that out. Let's see here. Let's use the Schwere Angriffen as well, because we're going to take 2 hits, and I can only take 1. So it doesn't matter what happens. My combat value is 1, their combat value is 2, so they will get 2 dice. I will get 1 plus 2 for the Schwere Angriffen and Stuka. And I'm an engineer, so I could even adjust 1, but I don't have to. That Fanatic strong point is taken out. And my engineer, however, Pioneers, they are casualties of the war. Stuka has been used for this turn, however, there are no more combats for this turn. So we go now to the last turn, turn 9, we reset the Stuka, and as long as I can keep 7 and 8 in German control here, we are going to be good. There's not going to be any problem. And I guess actually this should still be contested, since officially both of them died at the same time. No one controls it, even though it's empty. So it's contested. Okay, so the first units, which are the black units, which can only be placed in 7 and 8, they are goners, because 7 and 8 is controlled. This is the last turn. Bam, you're dead. Then we have a red one, which can be placed in 6. So we are going to go ahead and roll for that to see if it happens. 5 to 6, he's killed. The last reinforcements are killed as they're trying to pass through the river here. So this is looking like it's pretty much going to be a victory if nothing amazing happens now. As we are going to go ahead and take 3 of these, place them out. They can be placed 10, 11, and 5. Oh, this is going to take some time. Oh, actually, it can go to 2 since that's contested. 8, 8, 8, 10. Yes, one can go to 10. And then last one, come on. 8, no. 5, yes. Well, that was rather quickly. Okay, and then we have the Soviet movement. We start with 5. We see some movement here, but it's not going to help them. 7. Not going to help them at all. The next movement are going to be from 9 and 10. So let's see, here we have 9. Okay, let's move actually. 4. Let's see, where's 4? Okay, next area to move after 9 and 10. 9 and 10. So it should be 9. Oh man, these are flipping up all over the place. So now we have 10, and if 10 moves into 8 and contests it, we will lose. So this is going to be exciting now. Okay. Oh, here rolls 6, so we're good. And then the event markers, 5. 5 and 3. So one of them moves over here. And then we have 4 and 3. Let's see, 4. Where is 4? There, it's mine. 3, it's already moved. 11, 2, and 12. So 11, same goes here. Let's hope it doesn't roll 8. 9, it cannot move there because it's full. And 4. We're good. We have 1. We have officially 1, I can tell you. After 11, it's 2 and 12. 2. 8 and 12, and that's nothing happens. Okay, so nothing happens there. they don't move. I am gonna go ahead. They don't move anymore, I should say. I'm gonna try to move the recon up here to the state bank. I need to roll 1, 2, 3, or 4, and he makes it. So, of course, I'm not gonna do any battle because I have captured 7. I have captured 8. I have encircled this whole area and even have the rail crossing behind them. So I think my plan worked out perfectly. I did manage to capture the central city of Stalingrad, and man, it's almost like I am wondering, did I do something wrong, because it's never went this good. I played last night 2 times and I got crushed again on the last turn 2 times. So that's a very good victory, guys. This is Savage Streets, and it's a victory because it's a victory. I won. And this is with the optional rules. I highly recommend to play with the optional rules. It's so much more fun. But it's good to play with the, normal rules first and get used to the game. And then once you got a feel for it, add the optional rules because they're really, really amazing. Again, you can get this game from Multi-Man Publishing's website, mmpgamers.com. Is $26. You can also find it in most retails, at least around here in Europe. So go ahead and grab a great game. If you want a light game which just fits in a zip bag, which you can bring when you're traveling, well, this is a great one. And even I'm not saying that it's only a travel game, because I am looking forward to taking this game out every now and then, when I feel like I want to fight a battle in Stalingrad. And I'd say that when it comes to World War II solitaire games about the Eastern Front, and specifically Stalingrad, I'd say this one and Paulo's House, they are going to be my go-to games when it comes to that battle. I still love Rattenkrieg, Assault on a Tractor Factory, but it's a fun little bonus game, and I always love that game and wish it were more, and that's the gift I got from Savage Streets. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, it would mean a lot to me if you would go ahead and subscribe. It also means a lot to me if you like the video and give me a comment, just something small. Doesn't have to be something super specific, just something small makes a big difference. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time.